every person's journey is individual. So, anyhow, so when the physical therapist came and we were talking about why I don't sit in the chair, I was like, because first of all, if I get that sensation, then I have to go. And somebody did suggest putting a timer and setting time to actually go. I tried that, really, and it did not work, because the times, like, the timer would go off and I would go, I wouldn't have to go, and then, like, I'd go sit back in the chair and then I'd have to go. That still happens to me now. I sit on the commode for, like, my required 3 minutes to try to, like, have a bowel movement, and it won't come, and I'll come back to the bed and then I'll have to get up again. So frustrating, you know? But it is what it is. I'm an old lady with a broken body, and this is what it is. I know, I'm not old. It's all relative. I'm older than my mother was when she died, so that makes me old. I'm older than my brother was when he passed away. That makes me old. Anyhow, I talked to the physical therapist about why, and I said to her, and I've said this to you guys, or maybe I haven't. I don't know who I talk to anymore. I said, I have a spinal fracture in my back, which makes me wear this brace. I have a femur fracture, several, which, by the way, I know sometimes I have mentioned like it's knee surgery, whatever. The femur, the distal femur is right there at the base of where it meets the kneecap. So it technically is like knee precautions too, because the bottom, this bone here is so thin from where the fracture was. I do have all these knee precautions too. So forgive me if I refer to it as knee surgery sometimes, but it is the femur, and technically the bone is the femur. It's not on the kneecap or under the kneecap. But really your knee isn't, because your knee isn't a ball and socket joint, you don't have a knee, really. You have a knee area. You have a patella, which is a kneecap. But you really just have like this L happening, this happening. Actually, is there a separate bone there? I'm going to look that up, and I'm going to tell you right here whether or not I'm talking out of my ass. Because my brain just went, what? What are you talking about, girl? Nope. I ain't even waiting, because I won't be able to finish this vlog, so forgive me. Show me a picture of a knee joint.
Here are some images of knee joint from the web.
Seriously? I clicked on the pictures of the knee joints from the web, and they totally brought up the last thing I was looking at. What the heck was the point of that? Okay. Maybe I'll just do this. Images of knee joint. I don't want an Amazon picture. Here we go. Let's see. Okay. So thank you to medicinenet.com for allowing me to use this photo. But just to give you an idea, I don't know if you can, I'm going to probably zoom in here, but so there is your thigh bone, and then there is your shin bone, two of them really. There is actually no knee. This patella, which is like your kneecap, is probably the knee, and the tissue in between is like your knee. So there is like this, your meniscus, and like all of these like tissues in here, and then there's like ligaments on the outside, yada, yada, yada. But there is actually no anterior cruciato, I don't know what that word is because it's very fuzzy. It looks like agament, but I don't know what that is. But there's, ligament, and probably a ligament, and the L and I got stuck together. So you can see there's actually there is no knee, like specific knee. There's your patella, which is the bone that floats above the knee joint. And then there's your femur, and then there's your tib fib, which is your tibius and fibular bone. Tibius and fibular. that what it said? Fibula. Okay, good. I didn't make that up, but the two bones that are down here. So your knee isn't a knee. So when we say knee surgery, my tumor was right here. Just imagine right where the kneecap is. But my tumor was right here in this area. So when we say, like when I refer to it as knee surgery, that's why I refer to it as knee surgery. So if you're a person who's like, gets confused when I say femur fracture, femur tumor, and that's why. So the tumor at my knee area, in my fibula, Jesus, Jerry, in my, in my femur, the big tumor that I had by my knee joint in my femur was the one that they had filled in with cement, and that's the one that's got the plate on it. The one that's up in my femur, up higher, there's two of them. One of them was really invasive, and that's the one that fractured. Sorry. Oh, gosh. Anyway, until I have... I said the non-weight bearing on this leg, the not hopping on that leg, the brace, the rashes. If I didn't have any one of those, I'm sure I can function more normally as a human being. What I mean by that is, like, if you took any one of those away, if I could walk, if I could walk, I could wear the brace and walk and live my life. And even with the rashes, I would be able to, like, sit on the couch and sit at a 30-degree angle in the recliner and take my brace off and just sit for, like, the afternoon, the day. If I had to get up and go to the bathroom, What I have been known to do, like at the doctor's office, sitting in one of those, like, doctor's chairs, is I'll take the front off so the doctor could get better, listen to my stomach sounds and my chest sounds. As long as I'm laying back, I'll just leave the binder on and the back piece on. So I could do that in the recliner. I could take off the front piece, so I'd be a little bit more comfortable, but I would be also, like, kind of at the ready. One of the really cool things that we do is we kind of like work like a hinge. So I take the Velcro off this side and leave the straps on this side, and I like hinge it off. So it's kind of off me, but it's still attached to me, which is kind of cool. That's like a cool thing. But anyway, if I could walk, I would do that, because then I could get to the bathroom in time. Because I'd have to put my brace back on and get up and walk. If I couldn't walk, but I didn't have the brace, like I did when I was first, like when my knee first went out on me last summer, I was sitting on the couch. I went to Texas. I was in the car. I was on a road trip, for criminy sakes. It's just that I had a walker, and I was, like, walking and doing things. Like, I was going on the couch. I was living at Lisa's house, and there's, not living, but I was staying at Lisa's house, and she's got carpet, and I was on the walker. Like, the whole thing. We redid this floor. We redid this room. If I didn't have the rashes, and I can keep my brace on all day. You get the point of, like, if I took any one of those things out of the equation. So, what I was saying to her was the fact that I have this entire combination of disastrous things happening is what makes everybody's story is unique, but what makes my life difficult at this moment, and the most difficult for the last, I guess the rashes started developing really severely in February, March. So February, March to June right now it is. So for the last 3 months, it's made my life extremely difficult. Now people are like, why do you just lay in bed? No, I don't just lay in bed. Which is first I would like to tell you that. And this isn't about haters. This is really about even people who are concerned, loving people. I don't just lay in bed. And I never just laid in bed. And since I've been home, I have never urinated in my bed. I only did that when I was at the rehab and in the hospital in a bedpan. The only reason I used a bedpan in the rehab was at night. So that I didn't have to get transferred and wake up entirely up. And that was the nurse's suggestion. That wasn't my suggestion. To put my brace on requires quite a bit of maneuvering. You really do have to wake up. I can't just put my brace on and jump in the wheelchair and get to the bathroom. I did in the morning, but that's because I had peed during the night. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I pee during the night, I don't have to pee so hard in the morning like when I used to when I was younger. And I didn't pee during the night. Anyway, so they would just prefer to use the bedpan. I had a plus size bariatric bedpan, which I really wanted to bring with me. God forbid things turn for the worse, but I'm glad that I didn't, and I don't have it. It's just another thing that would be in the way. I also feel bad about them throwing plastics out. I'm like, they can't sanitize these things and reuse them, which is sad. But it is what it is. Or maybe they can. I don't know how they do it, but they always just told me they throw them out. Anyhow, if any one of those things were different, my last 3-4 months would be different. But the way it is right now, it is what it is. So, doing these things last week and having the brace on for as long as I did for each day really did make my life great and horrible. Well, I noticed after Friday, after the physical therapist came and we did all of the work, and like I said, she had me in the brace for about, half an hour, 45 minutes. I laid back down, and that night I had a lot of trouble. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was like, it hurt and it burned, and I said to Jim, I'm like, did my bandages move? And he's like, not really. And he's like, I'll fix it for you, but, maybe I'll move them in another direction sometimes when you just relocate them. I just had trouble sleeping, and turns out I realized Friday night that being in my brace all day is really affecting my back negatively, my skin, my rash. And like I said, I don't know if I already inserted pictures or if I'm going to insert pictures here, but if you look at the original pictures, there is the pink area, or even pictures from, 2 weeks ago. The pink area has sort of a very sort of smooth texture. Not a completely smooth texture, but it does have like not as much texture as it does now. Let's just put it that way. When you look at the pictures from last night, you can see that complete opposite. Like, it's just that wherever there is raw area, or as I mentioned, it looked like a map of Africa. And then as the skin grows back, we were calling those islands. So anywhere that there's not islands has this texture now. And they look deeper than they did before. And not just compared to the islands, but even on the edges. And I'm not sure that I'm not doing damage. So last night, yesterday, this morning, I cried again this morning. The revelation that I have to stop living that little bit of life that I was given. I'm sorry if this offends you, but it sucks ass. I can't think of any other way to say it. There is no other way to say it. It just does exactly that. It's just the lousiest feeling. The reason I wanted to come on and tell you that like this today is because I probably won't be vlogging from the chair very often. It was suggested to me to my sister to just wear the brace for 45 minutes and do a little bit of task, 45 minutes a day. And I tried that yesterday and came out with the same results. Not good results. The only time that I've put my brace on independently, the only time I put my brace on and then not notice pain afterwards is when I'm sitting in the chair. However, I found out, was it yesterday I sat in the chair? It's very hard to have your brace on and not try to go live some life. So I had my brace on, and then I jumped in my rollator and I rolled it outside and I started doing things, and he was like, but I wanted to work in the office and the guest room, sorry. So people think like we're hoarders, and that's okay. Men's and men's. Like my mother-in-law at my house compared to like the house we were growing up in is way clean. But compared to like my mother-in-law's house, it's like the way she was used to growing up, it's cluttered. And it's not messy cluttered, it's clean cluttered, but it's just a lot of stuff that she's a more of a minimalist. That being said, I'm trying to purge this whole thing. So we were purging, as you guys remember from last year, we were purging before I got hurt, and then we were continuing like
answer.
I would like to wish I remember where I was. Oh, I was talking about like that. So just having that 45 minutes also feel like it was detrimental to my skin. So I'm not trying to go back in time. But what I just said to Sharon, and Sharon's like, I was just going to say that to you, and I was just going to tell you guys was, I'm looking at it like, appreciate the time that I had of independence. The truth is, appreciate the time I had of independence, because I know that I can do it, and I know that I will do it again. And that's what I have to focus on right now. But the truth is, this might be the rest of my life. It might be a taste of freedom, something happens, and then you're back in thing. And a taste of freedom, and something happens, and you're back in thing. And that might be the way it is the rest of my life, and I have to kind of get used to that. And maybe God is telling me that's the case. I do have things to do tomorrow. I have to wear my brace. I have to take a shower. Like the shower aid's coming tomorrow. I have to do that. Do I have to do anything else tomorrow? The physical therapist is coming. Are we going to work on in-bed core exercises? Are we going to try to get up into the rollator again? That part I don't know. We will see. I have to wear it on Tuesday because I have the nuclear bone scan. It's things like that. Like, I'm going to try to just leave it to where I wear it when I have to. I have a dermatologist portal. I decided that, talking to Jim yesterday, because the dermatologist doesn't take my insurance, I have to pay out of pocket, which is difficult. But it wasn't extremely expensive. It was just like our extra budget money that month. Or actually, Jimmy was still working, so it was like that 2 weeks. But maybe I'll share the pictures on my portal of her. I'll share with her the pictures of my back on her portal so that she can see what's happening now. Like that, yes, I have new skin growth, which is great, but the areas that are behind the skin growth seem to be changing as well. So I'll see if she wants me to come and see her. Again, it's not like I'm in pain where I need like pain medication, but it makes me scared that I'm doing something bad. That kind of thing. I'm doing something detrimental. When I look at the pictures, I think that confirms that I'm doing something detrimental. So you may or may not see me in the chair vlogging again for a long while. Like I said, sitting still isn't as irritating as when I have to move back and forth. But the act of getting into the chair is a little bit irritating. So I kind of feel like I just want to leave it back to doing what I have to do. I don't know. I feel like with any addiction, and you all know that I'm addicted to food. This is not a new thing, and I've been to OA, so that's not a new thing either. But I feel like with any addiction, it's that new step, that new stage of like acceptance. I think that's part of it. Part of it is the acceptance and learning. Like, I want this drug again. The drug of endorphins, of having my life back. That's my particular drug is right now. I want it again, but I know I can't have it because it's really not good for my body right now. And I know that I'll have it again because it's not really a drug that's harmful to me. It's actually a drug that's good for me. However, I know that I will have it again. But I have to just like pick and choose when I have to have it. And that's the thing about being addicted to food, is that food is something that you need to live. I need to have my life back to live. I need food to live, but I have to monitor, control, and eat the food to live, not live to eat. I have to rest, and I have to let my back finish repairing itself before I get back into my life more and more each day. It's very frustrating. I said to Jim, I'm like, here's the difference between what Jim was saying about we do the work, we force ourselves, and then we have to pay for it tomorrow. I said, that's not even where I'm at right now, because yes, my back rash is kind of like paying for it because it's stinging and it hurts, but it doesn't hurt as much as like my physical body did before, or it's not making me tired. And that's the thing, is the fact that it's not making me tired. Even though it hurts, I'm not exhausted. And I want to get up and do things because I've been exhausted for so long that I'm like ready to just get up and do things. I just ask you to pray for me to have some acceptance for what's going on right now. I think that's my prayers that I will ask you for. Of course, we want to have a good nuclear bone scan results. We want those to be good. We want the test results to all look positive. But the fact that what I'm struggling with now is letting my body heal the rest of the way without doing damage in the opposite direction, which is what I feel like I'm doing. That's what's really difficult right now. So, cheers to you guys. I really want to thank you. Your support means so much. Your friendship, your love. It just means so much to me. I hope that I do the same for you. I hope that you feel how much I love you. I hope you feel how important you are to me. As some of you say I am to you. Because it's the so God's honest truth. I love you, and if nobody's told you today you're loved, you can always come by and hear how much I love you. Okay, good. And as always, you guys take care. God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Bye, Vlogsters. See you tomorrow.